Today we're creating some beautiful restoration hardware inspired artwork. I'm doing a refresh here in my bedroom, and in doing so I knew the first thing I wanted to do was to get some artwork to go above the bed. So 6 months ago, I decided to do this. 6 months ago I decided I wanted to recreate this look from Restoration Hardware. Yeah, it's beautiful, but do you notice anything alarming in this picture? Look closer. That's how much they want for one of these. Yeah, Restoration Hardware has lost their mind. So that's why we're going to DIY instead of buy. Stay until the end so we can add up all the receipts to see how much this bedroom refresh has cost me, and then we're going to get a new total to see how much money we have to go toward our next project. For this project, we're using plywood, some 1x2s, wood glue, a miter saw and box, black paint, and a few faux sea fans I purchased from Z Gallery 6 months ago. I'm not going to be including the price of the sea fans into this project since I did purchase them 6 months ago and not out of the money I had set aside for this project. I'm starting off by measuring my sea fans to see how large I need the shadow boxes to be. I enlisted the help of my son to cut the plywood to size. Now this miter box was, well, I'll be nice and say you get what you pay for. I gave my electric miter saw to my middle son, so I had no option but to buy this $10 miter saw to cut the 45s. It was a little off on the cuts, but came as close to a 45-degree angle as possible that you could get from a $10 miter box. Once I laid out how I wanted to frame the shadow boxes, I applied the frames with wood glue and used clamps to hold them until they dried. We had to trim off a little bit of the plywood to square the frames, and then we added some staples to secure everything. I gave all of the boxes a light sanding, then applied a coat of primer before applying 2 coats of black spray paint. The primer I already had on hand, so I'm not going to be including that in with the price of this project. I trimmed the sea fans up just a little bit to make them look a little bit more like the ones from Restoration Hardware. I used command hooks to attach these to the wall due to how light the shadow boxes are, and I really didn't feel the need to use nails. If I can give one tip when using a glue gun, is to remove the glue gun spider webs, as I like to call them, so your project doesn't look cheap. I'm thrilled with how this turned out. I love the artwork. I think it looks so good, and the best thing about it is that if I'm not happy with it, say after a year, 2 years, whatever, I can remove the C fans, I can put something else in there, and even if by removing the C fans it takes a little bit of the black paint off of the shadow box, I can sand it down, I can just spray a little bit more black spray paint on it, and then just put something else in the shadow boxes. Or if later on I'm tired of seeing the shadow boxes in my bedroom and I want to move them to another area of my home, I can do that as well. That's the reason I like to buy things for my home, and also do little DIYs like this that I can put in any room of my home. That way you can kind of shop your home whenever you get ready to do a little mini makeover. You can, maybe you get tired of something in one room and you say, oh, that might look good in another room. And that's what I usually look at when I purchase items. I'm like, okay, I like it for this room, but I may get tired of it. So instead of selling it or getting rid of it, I could just relocate it to another room. I went with neutral bedding. That way I could just add in pops of color here and there. And I did that this time by adding some beautiful flowers on the nightstand. I love the pop of pink and the purple. I think it's beautiful for spring, but that's something, it's not permanent. You can change your flowers out with the season. I think it just adds a little bit of pop of color. That's why I like going with mainly neutral colors, so I can just add in pops of color with little accessories or flowers. The artwork makes a statement on its own. That's another reason why I went with neutral bedding. I love white duvets. I think they're just gorgeous. I love the white pillows in the back, and I love going with neutral pillows to layer. And what I do, I just keep, and I've said this many times, I have a ton of feather pillows, and I just buy really great quality pillowcases. That way it doesn't take up a ton of room, and I can just swap out the pillowcases to go with whatever season or whatever mood I'm in. But that's a really great way to change things out without buying a ton of pillows and not having anywhere to store them. I spent a total of $50.67 on this project, which was a lot cheaper than what Restoration Hardware would have charged you. 3 of theirs would have been $1,800. 3 of mine, $51. I think I made the right choice to DIY instead of buy. We had $218 going into this project. I used $51 to recreate the Restoration Hardware dupe. We are now left with $167. I have made some sales over on eBay and Facebook Marketplace that I'm going to be adding to our budget for our next project. And I probably won't be doing any more of the eBay update videos or anything that has to do with me finding items to resell on eBay, because honestly, those videos don't do very well on my channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick with thrifting. We'll still be going out thrifting for items for my home. We're going to be doing DIYs and the home makeovers. And I will update you every time we do a project to let you know what our current budget is. So don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you at the next one.